Think queer pop is only coming out of English-speaking countries? Think again. In 2025, global music isn't just diverse, it's unapologetically queer, loud, and multilingual. From Italian heartbreak anthems to sultry K-pop ballads, queer artists around the world are taking over the charts, in their own language, on their own terms. These 5 stars aren't just performers, they're cultural disruptors, using their voices and their visibility to reshape pop from the inside out. Whether they're headlining festivals in Seoul or dominating Latin America's streaming charts, they're proof that queerness has no borders, and rhythm speaks louder than any label. Which of these global icons have you had on repeat lately? Drop their name below and type worldwide if you believe queer pop sounds better in every language. Troy Pess, the multilingual queer heartthrob who owns every screen and stage. Some stars break through because of talent, others because of looks. Troy Pez, he broke through because he had both, and he knew exactly what to do with them. In 2025, Troy Pez isn't just a singer. He's a full-on digital phenomenon, a walking, singing, shirtless brand of queer confidence that transcends borders and languages. He went from modeling and posting thirst traps on Instagram to headlining queer music festivals and building a fan base that stretches from Madrid to Manila, all while never watering himself down. What makes Troy unique isn't just that he's hot. He is deeply. It's that he's aware of it, playful with it, and never lets it overpower his message. Yes, he gives body. Yes, he serves sex appeal. But beneath the sculpted jawline and piercing gaze is a man writing songs about heartbreak, desire, joy, and queer liberation in multiple languages: Spanish, Portuguese, English. Troy doesn't just sing across genres, he sings across worlds. His tracks blend reggaeton heat, Latin pop hooks, R&B smoothness, and electronic sparkle. It's a sound that's globally infectious but also deeply personal. Queer fans from South America to Europe don't just dance to his music, they see themselves in it. And the fashion? It's giving futuristic femme jock realness. One night, he's in mesh and leather harnesses. The next, he's in oversized pastel streetwear with painted nails and Cuban chains. His looks are never shy, never fully masked, never fully femme, but always intentional. It's the kind of styling that makes you pause your scroll and whisper, "Okay, who is this?" What elevates Troy even further is how open he is. Not just about being gay, but about vulnerability, self-worth, and reclaiming sexuality on his own terms. He posts photos that feel both intimate and empowering. He talks about mental health. He flirts with the camera and his audience. And somehow it never feels performative. It feels like he's inviting you into his world, where being soft and sexy aren't opposites, they're a power combo. In a global pop industry that still leans heavily on straight-friendly, queer-adjacent aesthetics, Troy is refreshing. He doesn't play coy. He doesn't leave it up to interpretation. He shows up with a rainbow flag and a six-pack, and both get equal billing. For many young queer fans of color, especially in Latin and Afro-Caribbean communities, Troy represents possibility. That you can be bold, beautiful, bilingual, and still be taken seriously as an artist. Think Troy Pess is giving international queer royalty with a side of, "I know I'm hot"? Type SIREN in the comments if his vibe has ever left you breathless and checking your reflection. Tananai, the Italian pop heartthrob, turning melancholy into queer magic. Tananai doesn't shout his queerness from the rooftops. He sings it softly, seductively, with lyrics that ache and aesthetics that whisper, "I see you." And in 2025, the Italian alt-pop star isn't just climbing the charts. He's captivating an entire generation of queer fans across Europe and beyond. Born Alberto Coramusino, Tananai burst into Italy's mainstream consciousness after competing at Sanremo, the iconic Italian song festival known for launching legends. At first, he seemed like another shaggy-haired indie boy with a synthesizer. But then he opened his mouth and something electric happened. His voice cracked in all the right places. His lyrics hit with cinematic emotion, and queer listeners leaned in. What makes Tananai so magnetic isn't just his music, though his blend of electro-pop and alt-romance is addictively good. It's his vulnerability. His stage presence isn't loud or hypersexual. It's tender, self-aware, sometimes messy, but always intentional. He doesn't pose, he feels. And that emotional honesty, it lands especially hard with queer fans, many of whom are used to coded lyrics, subtext, and secrets hidden between verses. Tananai doesn't hide. He just lets the music speak louder than labels. In recent years, his videos and live performances have become increasingly fluid, both in fashion and energy. There's glitter, flowy blouses, dramatic eye contact with male bandmates, and just enough physical closeness to spark 1,000 TikTok threads. And while he's never publicly declared a specific label, his vibe is unmistakably queer-inclusive. Fans describe his aesthetic as Måneskin if they were emotionally intelligent, or Italian Frank Ocean but more depressed. It's sexy but soft, wild but warm. And in a music industry still obsessed with packaging sexuality, Tananai is simply being, and queer fans are reading every delicious detail. But here's the twist. He's not niche, he's mainstream. In 2025, Tananai sits comfortably among Italy's top charting artists. His songs are played on radio, blasted in Milan clubs, and trending on global Spotify lists. And that visibility, wrapped in subtle queer energy, is exactly what makes him so important. He's not a token, he's not a side act, he's the headline, the moment. And in doing so, he's showing young queer Europeans that their experiences, even the soft, sad, beautiful ones, belong on the big stage. Whether he ever comes out with a label or not, Tananai's presence is loud in the way that matters, emotionally, artistically, and unapologetically his. Are you as obsessed with Tananai's soft queer glow-up as we are? Type Italia in the comments if his voice has ever made you stare out the window like you're in a gay coming-of-age film. Alex Anwandter, the queer Latin visionary who makes protest feel like a dance floor. Some artists chase fame. Alex Anwandter chases truth, and he's not afraid to make it danceable. In 2025, this Chilean singer, producer, and queer visionary is more than just a pop star. He's a movement, a mood, a masterclass in how to make music that's as political as it is poetic, as emotional as it is electric. Alex first emerged from the Chilean indie scene in the early 2000s, fusing synth pop, funk, and electronic disco with melancholic melodies and sharp, introspective lyrics. And while his sound echoed the likes of Robin and early George Michael, it was his voice, openly gay, Latin American, and unapologetically emotional, that set him apart. From the start, he's been out, not just in identity, but in message. His lyrics speak about queer love, loneliness, gender roles, violence, and systemic oppression, all wrapped in beats that beg you to move. It's the kind of brilliance that sneaks up on you. You're dancing, and then suddenly, you realize you're crying. And that's the magic of Alex Anwandter. In songs like ¿Cómo puedes vivir contigo mismo? Or Siempre es viernes en mi corazón, he captures the deep ache of existing in a world that doesn't always see you, while also demanding joy in spite of it. His music videos are often cinematic, packed with queer bodies moving through dystopian cityscapes or reclaiming space in oppressive systems. There's glitter, sweat, heartbreak, and resistance, sometimes all in the same frame. But Alex isn't just singing into the void. He's part of a larger cultural conversation across Latin America, one where queerness is still politicized, still dangerous, still radical. And rather than dilute his work for a global audience, he's doubled down in Spanish, with nuance, with complexity, with art that doesn't beg for approval, but demands recognition, fashion-wise, He leans into quiet elegance. High-neck blouses, bold colors, genderless tailoring, and a gaze that says, "You're not going to figure me out in one look." He's not flashy. He's intentional. Every outfit is a choice. Every lyric is a confrontation. And in 2025, while newer queer pop stars chase trends, Alex remains timeless. Revered in queer Latin circles, beloved by international critics, and whispered about in the corners of every underground club where the lights go low and the feelings run high. For queer fans who want more than just bops, who want depth, art, rage, and release, Alex is it. Think Alex Anwandter is the poet-dancer we all wish we were in our darkest, glitteriest dreams? Type revolution in the comments if you've ever cried on the dance floor and called it healing. Tooji, the Persian-Nordic pop rebel who made queerness a statement. Some artists sing for the charts. Tooji sings like he's setting something on fire. Shame, silence, expectation. And in 2025, that fire still burns just as brightly. Born in Iran and raised in Norway, Tooji Keshtkar first came to public attention in the most mainstream way imaginable, representing Norway at the Eurovision Song Contest in 2012. At the time, he was clean-cut, soft-spoken, and safe, the kind of performer European television could comfortably showcase without raising eyebrows. But that was just the surface. What came after Eurovision was something no one expected. Tooji came out publicly in 2015, and not with a press release or a rainbow flag selfie, but through a controversial music video, Father, that challenged both religious dogma and sexual repression. In it, he played a closeted gay man having an affair with a priest. It was provocative, unapologetic, and instantly made headlines across Europe. That moment didn't just out him, it freed him. Since then, Tooji has been blazing his own trail through music, art, activism, and fashion. His sound evolved into a darker, moodier blend of electropop with lyrics that explored identity, shame, power, and liberation. No more radio-ready choruses, just raw, poetic truth, layered over beats that pulse with defiance. And his visuals? Iconic. Tooji doesn't just wear fashion, he embodies it. His aesthetic is part high fashion, part performance art. Silk robes, gold detailing, eyeliner sharp enough to cut doctrine. There's often a deliberate fusion of Middle Eastern influence and Nordic minimalism, a reflection of the cultural tension he's always lived within. On red carpets, he's regal. On stage, he's something else entirely. Wild, theatrical, unchained. But what makes him a queer icon in 2025 isn't just his look. It's his voice in every sense of the word. Tooji has become a fierce advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, especially in contexts where religion, immigration, and queerness collide. He speaks out, not as a celebrity, but as someone who's survived the closet in more ways than one. As an immigrant, a Muslim-born artist, and a gay man in public life. In interviews, he's sharp, articulate, and unafraid to go there, whether it's calling out Western queer tokenism or unpacking internalized shame. And all the while, he's releasing music that dares you to feel more, think harder, and dance anyway. For queer fans who don't fit neatly into any box, culturally, spiritually, or sexually, Tooji isn't just a pop star. He's a blueprint, a reminder that queerness isn't always rainbow filtered. Sometimes it's fire, gold, and a crown made of questions. Think Tooji is serving royal queer rebellion on every level? Type FIRE in the comments if you're here for icons who make art, not apologies. Ji-woong, the K-pop prince with queer energy. Too powerful to contain, some idols smile for the camera. Ji-woong melts it. With sharp cheekbones, eyes full of longing, and a body carved from fanfic fantasy, he's more than just a K-pop star. He's a queer-coded phenomenon. And in 2025, the whispers around Ji-woong are no longer whispers. They're roars from an international queer fandom convinced that whatever he's selling, it's not straight. Originally known for his modeling and acting work, Ji-woong truly exploded in popularity after his appearance on Boys Planet, leading to his debut in the group Zerobacione, ZB1. But unlike many of his peers, Ji-woong's allure wasn't just based on choreography or high notes. It was presence, a dangerous mix of softness and control, of flirtation and mystery. He didn't just perform, he invited you in, and the gaze lingered. From the very beginning, fans picked up on it. The way he looked at his members, the subtle touches, the way his voice dropped just slightly during fan service. Was it fan fiction bait, K-pop strategy, or something more real? And then came A Shoulder to Cry On. Ji-woong's leading role in this BL, boys love drama, didn't just raise eyebrows, it launched him into a new queer canon. The way he embodied the romantic tension, the heartbreak, the gaze-holding softness, it felt too natural, like he wasn't acting, just expressing. LGBTQ plus fans around the world felt seen, shaken, softened. Since then, Ji-woong hasn't distanced himself from queer roles or speculation. Instead, he's leaned in with grace. In interviews, he speaks about love as universal. He's fashion-forward without fear. Silk blouses, sheer shirts, painted nails, and bold accessories that scream gender who. His performances often blur the line between choreography and chemistry. And though he's never publicly labeled himself, his silence feels less like denial and more like protection. Or perhaps freedom. In the often strict image world of K-pop, where idols are taught to perform heteronormativity to appease conservative fans, Ji-woong's entire vibe feels like quiet rebellion. He doesn't need to say it. Queer fans already know, and that knowing becomes a kind of intimacy. He is, to put it simply, the dream, the one you crush on, write fic about, defend online, and secretly hope is living a life as soft and romantic as the characters he portrays. Think Kim Ji-woong is the gay-coded prince quietly queering K-pop one glance at a time? Type Prince in the comments if his gaze has ever made you blush through the screen. Queer music doesn't need translation, it needs volume. And in 2025, these 5 stars are turning it all the way up. From Latin electro to K-pop ballads to disco poetry, they're proving that queer voices don't have to sing in English to hit hard. These artists aren't just topping charts, they're rewriting what global pop looks, feels, and loves like. Which of these voices speaks your language, musically or emotionally? Drop their name in the comments and type global if you believe queer soundtracks deserve every corner of the map. Subscribe to Rainbow Spotlight for more stories where language is diverse and love is loud.